Hey everyone. Today I am going to be telling you all about how today went. Let's go. So, I woke up late in the morning, around 11:30 a.m. When I got up, I I woke up earlier than that, but it was just to use the restroom, and then my mom greeted me before leaving for work where she put one of the cats on me and I pet the cat. And then I remember moving my car out of the way so she could go to work, and then I went back up and went back to sleep. Now we can jump back to 11:30 a.m. During this time, I went into the kitchen. My sister was up. I greeted her. I poured a bowl of oatmeal. I actually took one of those pre-packaged oatmeals, the ones you put hot water on and let sit for a little while to absorb the moisture, which is what I ate when I had my tooth pulled out, as well as a little just extra oatmeal. And I poured some almond milk in that, put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, let it stand for 2 minutes, and then I mixed it together and put some blueberry granola on it. And it was quite good. I had a cup of coffee to go along with it, 2 cups actually, and one big cup. And I went into the den to watch a new Digital Foundry video covering the new version of the Sony PlayStation 5 Pro upscaler PSSR. So they called this one PSSR 2, and they basically just went through the ups and downs of the new version. Basically, it's a substantial improvement over the original PSSR. It offers a more stable and coherent image than the original, and also there's less fizzling, there's less film grain, and overall it just has a much more um, stable look to it. They did mention there were some caveats. For example, there's this may differ from a game by game basis. For example, Call of Duty, one of the Call of Duties, there's this weird technical glitch that exists in both the original PSSR and PSSR2, where there's a white fizzle in dark areas of the game. Not exactly sure why that's in there, but that's worth noting. And also in a game like Dragon's Dogma, um, the the final image resolve definitely has a much more stable look to it compared to the original Pro version, but the weird outline of when a character obstructs the view of a ray traced area, and for whatever reason there's an outline where the ray tracing is not affected when the character's surrounding that shadowed area in the game, it ends up looking extremely glitchy and really weird. So that seems more like just the game's problem and not so much the upscaler's problem, though, for both cases. But overall, every single one is really good. For whatever reason, there's 3 ways they're rolling this out. There's the whitelisted mode, where the system automatically detects that the game's using a new version of PSSR, and so it boots into that new version. There's the toggle mode, where the games don't have the new version implemented in yet natively, but you can go to a system level, just turn on the new version, and then get to playing with that new version implemented. And it pretty much works exactly like the whitelisted version. And so it makes you wonder, why did they go through all the trouble of making this new and improved version of the upscaler only for it to be a toggleable option for games that haven't yet had the new version of the upscaler implemented into it yet. Seems quite odd, but regardless, it certainly is a huge improvement from the original, and yeah, it was cool seeing the comparisons. I really dig it when technology iterates and improves over time. Well, after watching that, I decided to watch a video of a guy talking about playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in VR. And I mean, it was kind of funny, I suppose, but ultimately wore out its welcome really quickly. Like, I got tired of watching it for like 5 minutes, and I think the video was like 25 minutes. So I was like, oh no, I ain't sticking around for any longer of this. So I turned the video off and I got up out of the room. I washed my bowl and my cup, and then I decided to take a shower. After I was done taking my shower, of course, I put on deodorant, moisture cream on my face, and I put on the clothes I will be wearing for the rest of the day, other than my work shirt, because I do go to work today. And then I was getting hungry, so I was like, what should I eat today? I know. I'll have more chicken tenders. So I went into the back room where we have our bigger air fryer. I decided to preheat that to 350 degrees, and then I put the chicken tenders on the pan with the parchment paper. Last time I'm going to be using that because I reused that parchment paper like 3 times, and now the oil is like on there, and I'm like starting to think, ooh, that reused oil, and it's kind of gross actually. So today was the last time I was using that. I put the chicken tenders back in. I heated it with the air fryer mode activated, 350 after preheated from oven mode, and then switched to air fryer mode for 12 minutes. Halfway through, I flipped them around, and when they were ready, I took them out, tested them with the meat thermometer. Turns out that they were at 110 degrees, and of course, if you want safe to eat chicken, it needs to be 165 degrees. So I put them back in the air fryer, cooked them at the same temperature for an additional 3 minutes, and then when I took it out, one of them, I checked one, still needed at least 20 degrees more to go, but I decided to check the other ones out of curiosity that weren't taken out yet. Those ones hit the mark immediately, so with the meat thermometer in them. So I decided to take those ones out and keep that other one in for an additional like minute. And when that was done, it was good to go. I got some Chick-fil-A sauce. I put that on a plate with the chicken tenders, and I had an A&W with it, and I ate that in the back room while watching a video. And this was from Ross Coldheart, where he interviews two dudes who are like, one created like a show called Dark Sky in the late 80s, and the other one's like a film producer. And they both decided to start like a podcast called like Sound and Frequencies or something like that. Sound Light Frequencies. And basically, the whole little Ross Coulthart interview was them talking about how they, one of them, when he was creating the show Dark Skies, like he had an agent who came in one of their parties, their celebration parties for finishing the show, and he told him, "Hey, yeah, well, you got a lot of things right on that show. That's really impressive." He was like, "I'm sorry, who are you?" I said, "Well, I work for the government. I'd like to see what you guys are up to." He was like, "Okay." Um, so yeah, and apparently, like, he became like friends with this guy, and eventually, like he told him some things that was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." So yeah, pretty interesting. Like I remember one of the more interesting things he said was like, "Oh, by the way, aliens, they're real. but they don't communicate like you showed in Dark Skies. They mind control more subtly than that. So I was like, ooh, that's interesting. Well, anywho, yeah, after that, it was time to get dressed and ready to go for work, so I did that. I said goodbye to my sister. I told her that I love her, and then I went into my car and I drove off to work. When I arrived at work, honestly, not much to really say other than the usual shebang for a 3 to 11 closing shift, where I was given janitorial duties, which meant, sweep the produce, sweep the break room, sweep the store floor, check restrooms, and sometimes bag for customers and sometimes take orders out. And that's pretty much a summation of the whole day. I mean, with little sprinklings of helping customers find what they need. I helped like this guy and his mom find and, yeah, pudding, zero sugar pudding. I helped a guy find Sunny D. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what happened there. Um, Eventually, I did punch out. I left to go home for lunch. When I arrived home, I was like, what am I going to eat? I genuinely don't know. So I decided to get a some potato bread. I got some slices of pepper jack cheese. I made a pepper jack cheese potato bread grilled cheese sandwich. I had a Premier Protein chocolate flavored shake. I had a chocolate fudgesicle, and I also had what else did I have other than that? Okay, fudgesicle sandwich. Oh yeah, and I had the leftover taco salad. So yeah, that was pretty good. Well, after I was done eating, I left back for work. Um, did I see anything interesting on my lunch break? I guess I saw this guy who was trying to make like a AI short film with this like character you made up called Flamethrower Girl, which was pretty interesting. He said it took a lot of generations, but ultimately the final cost for it was $200 compared to if it were to be made in real life would have cost around $25,000. Of course, he doesn't advocate for getting rid of real filmmaking at all. He just said it was just a fun hobby he did in his off time that he enjoyed seeing come together. So yeah, I think that was pretty interesting. Eventually, I left back for work. I did my closing duties. I took out the trash. I refilled bags. Um, I wiped down check stands 3 and 4. I made sure to clear a lot. Well, my other coworker was a huge help, and I greatly appreciated the help that they gave me. They cleaned all the check stands except for 3 and 4. They brought in carts and signs, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh, Definitely big help for sure. I did do some go backs, and I took some frozen bread into compost. Um, and yeah, that's it. Eventually, I did show some of my co-managers and my coworkers this funny video that I generated of like a upset worker who was being chewed out by a customer, like in a fictional AI video, and then they like have had their attitude, so they decided to do a karate kick on them, and everyone got a big laugh out of that. So that was a lot of fun. I punched out. I said goodbye to my coworkers, my co-boss, or co-manager, and then I went off, drive home. When I eventually arrived home, I was greeted by my sister, who was trying to capture her black cat, Call Me. I eventually caught him. I pet him and hugged him and snuggled him for like a good 5 to 10 minutes. Then I decided to have some popcorn, go into my room, watch a video of a guy talk about how artificial intelligence, the Steven Spielberg movie, was originally going to be made by Stanley Kubrick, and it was like conceived by him and like developed until he died, until Spielberg was given the baton to finish it because they were both good friends. It was really interesting hearing about the production about it. It was really cool. And then I was recommended the behind the scenes of AI, so I decided to watch that. Lots of cool special effects shots. It was so enlightening seeing that film come together, and I really enjoyed that. I like seeing behind the scenes, especially for older movies, because I don't know, I feel like older movies there was sort of a novelty and fun about them that made them just so enjoyable to see come together. And nowadays, it's like, I don't know, I feel like some of that magic's lost. But I don't know, maybe it's because I don't watch a lot of modern movies these days. Totally possible. Eventually I took my vitamins. I put the potato bread back into the freezer. There was a mess, so I cleaned up the mess on the floor. It was like a goopy yellow fluid on the floor that I decided to clean up in the back room. Then I decided to make this update video. And that's pretty much the day in a nutshell. I didn't do any work on my brain jam today. Sorry to admit, but sometimes things go in a different direction than you originally planned, and you just gotta step back, deep breath, and see what you can do different next time. Well, all right, that's gonna do it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.